Hello everyone, Andy Pickering here. Welcome to the Crypto Conversation. Welcome to the first Crypto Conversation for 2022. Happy New Year. Hope you had a good holiday period. And well, hey, it's coming up to the middle of January, later in January even. Time to get back to work, get back to business, get back to the crypto markets. So that, of course, is what we're going to do today. So, as always, you can listen to this as a normal podcast on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to your podcasts. But you can also watch along on the Brave New Coin YouTube channel, because I'm going to use a few visual references as we go. And if you are watching the video, well, you can see we're starting off here on Brave New Coin. And if we look at the Bitcoin Liquid Index, the BLX, Bitcoin is, well, it's a nice little jump overnight, really. So Bitcoin now 43,766 US, and Ethereum on the Ethereum Liquid Index 3,374. So on the on the Coin360 heat map, we can see that's a decent little bounce. You know, Bitcoin got as low as just under 40,000 US earlier in January, and ETH basically down to 3,000 as well. So if we have a quick look at the Bitcoin chart, and you can see, yeah, we've just really been on, obviously hit that all-time high of 69 US, $1,000 back in November, around November 10, and really has been on a downward trend since then. Here's that wick down below $40,000, and just staging, too soon to call it a recovery. Was this the bottom? Too soon to say, but just a little minor bounce here, and then that is continuing. And of course, the reason for the bounce is, well, inflation numbers, really. I don't know if you saw this, but yeah, the consumer price index was figures were released this morning, and yeah, basically 7% up from a year ago, and that's a 40-year high. So that's reasonably stark, but of course that has given a little bounce to the markets. I also thought this was quite interesting. So this is from a few days ago, but you know, it's kind of shows what a difference a year makes in the market. So you know, this is the Fear and Greed Index from January 11, 2021. So you know, 10 days or so, give or take it. Let's just call it a year ago. A year ago exactly, right? So Bitcoin was maybe just under where we are now, but close enough to, let's say, 40K. And I suppose at the time that was you know, close to a new all-time high. So of course, extreme greed in the market. And now here we are, yeah, bang on a year later. Bitcoin is at effectively the same price, and you see extreme fear in the market. So, you know, 2021 was a huge year for Bitcoin, but we're sort of, we have given away all those gains in the market and kind of back to where we were at the start of last year. So, yeah, I suppose that's, yeah, sets us up for the year, really. What happens next? Do we continue down? Can we consolidate for a while? Can we then continue up? You know, that's well, that's the those are the important questions for this year. Do I have the answers? Not really, but sure going to be fun to find out as we go forward. So, of course, as I mentioned, inflation is up. So yeah, inflation rises 7% over the past year, highest since 1982. And you can see, yeah, all markets getting a little bit of a bump on that announcement. And yeah, I mean, inflation, it's a tricky one, right? You know, the Fed's been trying to say that it's transitory, supply chain issues, all that kind of stuff. But the other argument is with just all the liquidity being pumped into markets by the Fed, money printing, then that is going to cause inflation. Old mate CZ at Binance says you can't beat inflation, but you won't have to fight it when you only have crypto. Michael Saylor says set your Bitcoin sail and let the winds of inflation carry you. Indeed, indeed. And look, a part of this is, of course, as well as Jack Mallers of Strike. So he was behind the initiative to really set up Bitcoin Beach in El Salvador and get all the El Salvador people access to Bitcoin wallets. And now he wants to do the same in Argentina using Strike. So here's a Twitter thread from yesterday of Jack announcing that he was doing this. So he's going to bring a superior financial experience to a country that faces hyperinflation, predatory payment networks, and unusable cross-border transfers. So, we talk about in the US inflation 7% year on year, and that's the highest for decades. But in Argentina, Jack says inflation will reach 55% this year. So, if you're holding the local Argentinian currency, that's not a good thing. So, perhaps Bitcoin to the rescue. And here Jack talks about, Argentinians have historically fled to the dollar. Of course, that's what people around the world traditionally do. But now we're seeing a new trend starting, where people now have potential access to Bitcoin, this new kind of monetary network of energy, decentralized, censorship resistant, all around the world, accessible and open to people all around the world. And it's just interesting, So we've seen what will happened with El Salvador last year. Is Argentina next? What will be the next nation state to really follow the El Salvador lead? I don't know, but again, this will be a fascinating narrative to watch as we go deeper into 2022. All right, what else is happening at the start of 2022 here in January? Here's our old friend Gary Gensler put out quite a strange tweet this morning. He says, enforcement is one of the fundamental pillars in achieving the SEC's mission. One pillar is the policy framework, the laws set by Congress and the rules enacted by the Commission. But you've also got to examine against those laws and rules and enforce those rules. And Gary uses the analogy of, imagine a football game without referees. Without fear of penalties, teams start to break rules. The game isn't fair, and maybe after a few minutes it isn't fun to watch. Without examination against and enforcement of our rules, we can't instill the trust necessary for our markets to thrive. On the face of it, it kind of makes sense, but a few Kobe and other crypto Twitter people have had a little bit of fun with this tweet. I guess this is the kind of the key point here from Kobe. This analogy works really well if the rules are clear. You are allowed to ask what the rules are, and if the referee is willing to reference existing games with regards to the rules in public as a framework for future players. But if that's not the case, if lack of clarity around the rules creates a competitive advantage for the lawless and those who don't care what the rules might be, then suddenly you've got a grey area, and suddenly it's harder for everyone to compete on an even playing field. And that's kind of where the SEC is at the moment. It's not always Gary's fault. Technology just moves faster than regulators, obviously. But man, Gary, you're kind of behind the 8 ball a bit, and DeFi is advancing. When is spot Bitcoin ETF, will that happen this year? Again, don't know, but just more things to watch as we go deeper into this year. I guess the key point here is, Gary, it's fine to ask people to play by the rules, but if you're going to do that, you got to say what the rules are, and you got to set them out in advance and give everyone an opportunity to meet the standards that you want to set. Simple as that. All right. Oh, did you see this? Yeah, I thought it was interesting that last year, if you take, the performance of, say, the S&P 500 in 2021, or any kind of index fund or ETF, as we know, as investors, that's a hard standard to beat. If not many people can beat the market. I think only something like 3 major hedge funds were able to beat the S&P 500 last year. But guess who was also able to beat it? All of these politicians were able to beat the market. So a lot of politicians, all these Republicans, lots of Democrats as well. Nancy Pelosi is right up there. This is the performance of the S&P 500. And yeah, all of these stock trading US politicians able to beat the market. Who would have thunk it? I wonder how they did that. Very interesting. If you want to dig into that report, it's quite interesting actually. Here it is, so just Google that up. Not going to go through it here, but yeah, the TLDR is, lots of elected officials were quite keen stock traders, and a lot of them did quite well. Here's Warren Buffett. No one can say when a stock will go up or down. Yeah, I think, that meme says it all. All right, let's keep it moving. Let's start to close this out. What have we got? Yes. Cryptoland. Let's just open this up and see what's going on here. Maybe we can play some of it.
Started discussing was where could Krypton be located.
Offers of last resort. Oh, brilliant! Hey, stacking sats like crazy, right? Honey Badger don't care. The community's loving it, like on Twitter. Can't wait for you to give me a tour, Connie. What do you want to see first, Christopher? I don't know. Let's start with the best.
So if you haven't seen this, Cryptoland, this is a pitch video, I guess, from the team behind Cryptoland. What they're trying to do is they want to buy this massive private island and then turn it into, Cryptoland. And this video, they put a lot of work into it. It's almost 20 minutes long. It's fully animated. Some parts that are almost quite clever, and there's some parts that are quite cringe as well. It's just fascinating. I guess there's kind of shades of the ICO bubble in this thing, and they've a lot of anti-crypto Twitter people, I suppose, have jumped on this as a way to bash crypto people and Web3, as they like to do. Yeah.
No, I can't wait to get to mine. Oh my, wow! I got the parcel to build something dope for vacations, but now that I'm here, I might never leave. I already see we're gonna have the time of our lives. Show me more. Okay. First stop of the tour. This is on the top of the list. A much requested working zone, the hub. Folks approached me saying, Connie, we need somewhere where we can be programming surrounded by palm trees and views to open sea. They were sick of working from tiny offices. And you'll get to the moon. That was fun. Boy, we are in Crypto Beach. Have fun. Oh my God.
Yeah, anyway, so do recommend you watch that if you're looking for a little bit of light entertainment. I think you'll enjoy it. Cryptoland presentation, nothing else to say on that. Reese Witherspoon. Yesterday, did you see Reese Witherspoon texted, she tweeted, in the near future, every person will have a parallel digital identity. Avatars, crypto wallets, digital goods will become the norm. Are you planning for this? So, yeah, I just think it's, in 2017, a tweet from someone like Reese Witherspoon saying this might have been a top signal, but I think in 2022 it is simply a mainstream adoption signal, and amazing to see I guess A-list Hollywood actors getting into the Web3 space, NFTs. Reese is rocking a World of Woman NFT as her profile picture. So yeah, interesting. Oh, and that reminds me, who else is getting into NFTs? Yeah, Lamborghini. And of course, obviously, Lamborghini have a, shall we say, contentious relationship with crypto, but amazing to see. Yeah, Lamborghini NFTs, that is going to be cool. How cool will that be? Super cool. Yeah. Keep an eye out for that. And just to finish off, I thought this was interesting. Obviously this is slightly... this is science. It's medical stuff. It's about COVID. But basically, there's this reports come out, and they found that cannabis molecules are quite effective against one of the COVID variants. So, I mean, you have to dig into it to really understand it. But it's not, you can't just go and smoke a doobie and get and it will cure COVID. It's not as simple as that, of course, but maybe there's some kind of CBD product or something like that could be in development for fighting COVID in the future. Yeah, some marijuana compounds can block coronavirus from entering cells. All right, just thought that was interesting, controversial, no doubt, and well, that's it really. That was just a bit of a fun little show to kick off 2022. So thanks for watching. Lots of cool. We're back on schedule with new podcasts from here on out. Lots of interesting guests in the pipeline. So stick around. Make sure you're subscribed to the Crypto Conversation and whatever podcast app you are using. Going to be a big year. Glad to have you along for the ride. And yeah, we'll see you real soon. Thanks, everyone. This was the Crypto Conversation for Brave a New Coin.